Types of light emission. We'll be going through some different types of light emissions in this video. First, we can mention that there are natural light sources like the sun, and then there are artificial light sources like candles and light bulbs. Light occurs when atoms absorb energy and are considered to be in an excited state. Light from the sun is the most abundant source of light on Earth. All the energy that comes from a fusion reaction, which is the combining of two hydrogen atoms, transfers so much energy from the core to the surface of the sun that the excited atoms release their excess energy in the form of light. One of the most common ways to light your home for the last few decades has been with incandescent light bulbs. Incandescence means that light is emitted by a very hot object. The tungsten wire in an incandescent light bulb gets so hot when electricity is passed through it that it begins to glow. It's not a very efficient source of light, as only about 5% of its energy is released as light, and they're being replaced by other sources of light. Light from electric discharge is when there's a light bulb with an electrode at each end of the bulb. The bulb is usually filled with sodium or mercury, and an electric current is passed through the bulb from one electrode to another. When the atoms inside the bulb become excited by the electric energy, they release their energy as light. Fluorescence. Fluorescent light bulbs have been available for many years. They're a type of electric discharge tube with an electrode at each end and mercury vapor along with an inert gas such as argon. The inside of a fluorescent light bulb is covered with a powdery substance called phosphor. The electrodes at each end of the light emit electrons when they become electrically charged. As the electrons travel through the gas from one electrode to another, they collide with the mercury atoms and excite them. The excited mercury atoms release their excess energy in the form of ultraviolet light, which humans can't see, but when it's absorbed by the phosphor, it emits visible light. 20% of the energy a compact fluorescent light bulb uses is converted into light. They last much longer than incandescent light bulbs and are less hazardous to the environment. Fluorescent molecules can be found in the body. Blood, urine, and semen all contain fluorescent molecules, and forensic scientists can look for these fluids at crime scenes. Dentists can shine a blue light into your mouth to help them find unhealthy tissues because your tongue natural fluorescence changes when abnormal tissues are present. Fluorescent materials are used in some paper currencies to help detect fraudulent or counterfeit money. Some performers use paint with fluorescent dyes so that when the theater is dark, the audience can only see the light coming from the fluorescent paint because of the ultraviolet light. Luminescence is light that is generated without heating the object. Phosphorescence is light that is emitted due to exposure of the source of ultraviolet light, and that continues to be emitted for some time in the absence of ultraviolet light. Think back to those glow-in-the-dark stickers you used to love, and maybe still do. The excited atoms retain the excitement for several minutes or even a few hours after the ultraviolet light has been removed. It's like going to see your favorite band. You're still buzzing hours after the show. Chemiluminescence occurs when light is emitted as energy due to a chemical reaction. The glow stick pictured above is a classic example. Bioluminescence is light that is produced by a biochemical reaction in a living organism. The picture shows bioluminescent algae being washed up on the beach. Nature of light. Light is a form of energy that travels like a wave through space and other materials. Light behaves like an electromagnetic wave. Like water waves, a light wave is the movement of energy from one point to another and is measured in wavelengths. A wavelength is the distance from one peak or trough to another. Electromagnetic waves are invisible and can travel in a vacuum at the speed of light. The electromagnetic spectrum is a diagram that illustrates the range of electromagnetic waves in order of wavelength or frequency. Colors of light are all different wavelengths, red being the longest,